bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick, I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Local with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang.
All right. It looks like we're still having some chat issues with Facebook, but I'm watching you on my phone, so your chat's just not popping up on the screen, but I catch you. I see you, baby.
Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil.
I see you, Facebook.
Always in prime.
I see
always
you.
On time. Hard time to shine.
I see
Wifey
you,
is
baby.
fine. I'm doing fine. Glad that you asked. God fill me up. Mud in my glass. God clean me up. All that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead. You are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip.
I
whip
see
it
you,
up
baby.
Fast and all
Shaking that
furious, I'm
ass.
starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack.
Boom. Yeah. Swole Normath.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test. Testing, a testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1140 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in that realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches? What up, boosh? What's going on, people? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Slamcast. It's your boy, Papa Sleazio, and we are live for episode 1140 of The Swole. So, what is going on, Beaches? Thanks for joining me live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And for those of you banging your ear holes on Ye Olde Podcast, on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, all your phones, all your devices, thank you for joining and tuning in. This is a Thursday cast, and Papa Swolio's got his, I got my coffee with me, right? I'm looking a little exposed. Over here. I'm looking a little bright. I'm looking shiny. I'm looking pretty. I'm looking sexy, I think. So here's another little announcement or a little update. I know the Facebook chat is not showing up. I'm looking at the Facebook chat right now. So I'm seeing you. If you're watching live on Facebook, I see your comments. It's just not going to pop up on the screen because apparently the chat functionality is still not working from the streaming service. So that will be, we'll see. That will come eventually. So hopefully that gets fixed real soon. But I got my phone here and I'm watching your comments. So if you're on Facebook, it's cool. You can watch. I just won't see them, or you won't see your comments on screen, but I'm looking at them right here. So what's up, Vince, Jerry, Meredith, Heather? Let's see what's going on the YouTubes. What's good? So if you want to follow on YouTube as well, if you want to watch live, if you like the live streaming on YouTube, you can follow my second channel. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel, Daily Swole Podcast. Yeah, so that channel's growing, and a lot of you that follow on YouTube are checking me out there. So I'll try to post another link. So those of you that are following on the main YouTube channel, you can get over there and check it out. So that's where all the streaming is, just pure streaming, pure Daily Swole. That's where it goes. That's where it goes. That's where the swole goes. What up, Beej? What up? 5 a.m. here and just starting a workout. Great to have Papa Swole on my ear holes. Banging those ear holes, Felicity. Yeah, you like that shit. I will say before we get this episode, as we get this episode started, what the fuck am I talking about? The episode started. Because this episode started, I love the comments on YouTube. I love the comments on YouTube. I don't get to go through all of them because there's a lot, but I love the comments, especially the ones on the Nuts on Chin video, because they're funny. Even if you don't like the video or you don't like that type of video, it's so funny to look at the comments, because there's one that said, even though I'm a lesbian, I still love nuts on my chin, or something like that. I can't go without nuts on, and I pinned it to the top. It was fucking hysterical. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the comments. I see them. So for those of you that are dropping, I could never think that I never ignore comments, or I never on purpose don't answer them. I just sometimes can't go through every single comment. I try to reply to every DM and every message and all that, but I see them. A lot of times I scroll through and I'm like, that's a fucking good one. And I try to give credit where credit's due. I do my best. Thanks, Dale. I appreciate it. Shared today's NOC. Nice. I love the NOC. I love it. It's just when they're a little bit extra aggressive, that's the NOC. That's when you get those nuts on your chin. Today's an important one. Actually, today's topic, information overload, is related to that video today on YouTube. So if you have not yet checked out that YouTube video, I would recommend it. It's about YouTube fitness. It's about the information. And that's what this episode is about. And I will be out of the Swole hole. So this is the last live cast for a couple days on the main channels. So for those of you that are in the Daily Swole Club, those of you that are Swolenormous X members, I will be doing the streams in the private group. So if you want to catch the live streams, make sure that you follow me, follow there, and you can support the show with the Daily Swole Club, or you could join X and get access to everything. But you can learn more at swolenormousx.com. But the next couple days, probably tomorrow and Saturday, maybe even Sunday too, will be traveling cast, but I'll see. We'll see about Sunday, but Friday and Saturday we'll be on the road, and then we'll be back for a little bit of a home stretch and get some more stuff going on. But we got all sorts of exciting things going down. All sorts of exciting things. Let's see. Your live stream came up just the right time. It seems like it does. It's always the right time. Whenever we go live, whenever we get to go live, it's always the right time. It always seems like there's something just right. There's something just right when the Daily Swole goes live. When that stream hits, when you get that alert and you're like, oh, the beard is live. He's going live. He's here. He wants to talk to you. Anyway. Oh, so let's see. Since I'll be out and I'll be around, I'll probably be doing a lot of Q&A. I'll be doing a lot of questions. So I'll be posting another question sticker in my Instagram. So I'll be doing some stuff like that. I want to do live. I'm still probably going to go live on Instagram. I'll probably still pop in and say what's up, but just the podcast will be for the private group, because that's the way it is. What's up, Kayla? What up? Recently joined the Daily Swole Club. More than worth it. Isn't it great? Isn't the private community awesome? Look, the great thing about the Daily Swole Club is you get access to the accountability meetings, you get access to the private group, you get access to the fam. The public out here, all of you, the Swolenormous Nation is just fucking amazing. Let's just call it what it is. All of you are fucking great. I just love even more when we talk about the private community. It's because people are just a little bit more serious, and it just goes that way. When you're ready to, when you separate people that talk the talk, and then you have people that walk the walk, and you surround yourself with doers. You surround yourself with people that take action. That's what's really important about surrounding yourself with good people. Your inner circle that we've talked about, when your starting five, your closest people that you keep around you, and you've heard that before, you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. That's why we've talked so much about deleting people from social media, deleting your friends list, narrowing down your Instagram, and unfollowing people, because you can't help but get eye fucked every time you open your Instagram app. And a lot of you that open Instagram primarily, and that's the main app you use, you are subject to everything that people post that you follow. I don't follow anyone. One, I don't care about half the shit that people that I do follow that they post. But of anyone in the world, those are the people that I would like to see, or at least keep tabs on, or support them, however you want to look at it as a follow. A lot of people just follow someone. Hey, I like this person's content. Let me follow them and kind of vote for them. but then you have to see everything. You can't filter out your Instagram feed. I'm surprised you can't filter that out yet. It's a very unique thing. You can't customize it like Facebook. I feel like they will eventually when people stop using Instagram as much, or that becomes a little bit less popular. People are they'll change the algorithms there, but you have to see what everyone posts. If you follow someone, you're going to see what they post. If they post a picture of their fucking child, you're going to see a picture of their fucking child. And most people's children are ugly, and you don't want to see that shit. You don't want to see that fucking shit, but you're subject to it. I know. I'm in this world too. I see ugly children all the fucking time. Yep, it's true. It's true. And you know what I'm talking about. If you have a baby, your baby's ugly. And you know it. You know it. You're just the parent of it. And you're in denial. You have to pretend it's cute. You have to pretend it's cute. Look, I get it. I get it, fam. I get it. You're stuck with it for the rest of your life. So you have to pretend it's adorable. I know. I'm just fucking with you. But I'm fucking with you, and I'm totally serious at the same time. I couldn't be more serious, and I couldn't be joking more. So anyway, take that for a lot of you are like, I know my kid's ugly. Fuck my life. What's up, young behemoth? Your no bullshit videos keep me going. I used to make excuses all the time and start working out at the beginning of the year, and your constant videos made me quit making excuses. Thank you. I am down 45 pounds. Holla. Good for you, man. Good for you. It comes down to what you're willing to do and what you're willing to sacrifice. Just like this video today on YouTube and today's topic, which is inspired by today's YouTube video, information overload. I know you all like when I'm roasting people on YouTube. You like the roast. People like the roast. It gets good attention. It's good for clickbait. It's trending. But these types of videos, like the one I did today on YouTube, that's what's really impactful. I don't disagree with science. That's why I tried to make abundantly clear. And let's intro this episode because it relates to that video. I believe in science. I believe in the pursuit of knowledge. I am not saying that reading studies and learning things is bad. And I think I made that plenty clear. I don't think anyone took that the wrong way. However, I think we can all agree that a lot of people just inundate themselves with too much information. It goes back to what I just mentioned about being on Instagram or Facebook and following too many fucking people. You don't need that kind of information. You don't need to see what every single person ate for lunch. You don't need to see what every person went on, where they went on vacation. You don't need to see every relationship picture. You don't need to see every single workout video. You don't need to see all that fucking shit. But it goes in your brain and you don't think it does anything. You're just scrolling through and this and the other. But your brain is seeing it. Your brain is seeing it and it's cataloging it and it's cluttering up everything that's going on and it distracts you. It eats up more screen time on your phone. You spend more time on your phone rather than prepping your meals or going to the gym or training harder between sets and fucking focusing or driving your car if you're looking at your phone, which you shouldn't be while you're driving and all that stuff. But you just distract yourself without realizing it. All that information is going somewhere. You're still perceiving it. And a lot of that shit is just garbage. A lot of that stuff is crap. You don't need to see it. So I always like to encourage every once in a while, we discuss this about fucking deleting everyone, as many people as you possibly can. Cut down how many people you're following. Cut down anyone. Cut out anyone that's not giving you value. Be very selfish with your social media. It's like your time. You're going to spend time with people that provide you value, that you enjoy, that help you in some way in terms of they lift you up or they challenge you, they inspire you. You want to spend time with those people. And in person, that's easier to maybe notice and to recognize. However, online, you're still surrounding yourself with people. You're surrounding yourself with stuff, with accounts. Those are people. You're surrounding yourself with pictures. And usually when you are in person, you don't hang out with thousands of people at one time. But on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, you follow thousands of people. So you're surrounding yourself with thousands of people. And a lot of that is just complete bullshit. A lot of those people are just not helping you. They make you think about what you don't have. They make you think about what you can't get or what you're struggling to achieve. And you surround yourself and you inundate yourself and then you paralyze yourself with action and you're just gathering too much shit. And it goes to the extent of even looking up fitness information and figuring out your programming or figuring out a better food to eat or why you're having issues losing weight or building muscle. And you look it up and you Google it and you go on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and you just see billions of fucking pieces of content. And there's so much information, you just don't know where to start. There's a lot of stuff that says the same thing that's in one camp and then another camp, and then there's fringe things, and then I always like to bring it back to the basics because I feel like everyone's forgetting the shit that actually works. Is it just me, or is this something that the fitness industry is kind of missing? It's not sexy and it doesn't get a lot of attention. Well, we're getting attention. We're fucking crushing it. But it doesn't get a lot of, it's not clickbaity. It's not exciting to work hard. It's not exciting to have patience and to train for 20 fucking years. It's not exciting to eliminate foods that you like the taste of. It's not sexy and it doesn't sell. And it's not that this science doesn't exist. It's not that every little enzyme that you'll see in people talk about in these videos and these actual scientific specific studies, it's not that this stuff doesn't exist. It's just that it's not a causation. One study or one complicated mechanism in the body, you can't isolate these things. That's one of the issues when you do stuff in a petri dish or you look at one mechanism in the body. Nothing, not one fucking thing in the body works independently of itself, of the entire system. Every single mechanism in the body works as a result and as a variable and as a combination of everything else that's going on in the body, psychologically, physically, from the environment, all the processes, all the organs, all the enzymes, all the hormones, the proteins, the carbs, everything that's going on inside the body, it's all related to itself. And we don't understand all of it. There's just a lot of variance that we can't just discuss from one little piece of evidence or one concept or one mechanism. And then you go for the bio-individuality and then all bets are off. So we're still learning this. And I shared this podcast, this one about allergies and allergy research. I shared that for those of you that are in the Daily Swole Club and Swole Enormous X. I put the link in the private Facebook group. It's a good podcast. It goes to show how little people know about allergies and about food allergies and intolerances. We're just scratching the surface. And some of you probably already checked it out, but the top scientists in the fucking world that research this stuff, it's still new. It's still cutting edge. They're still going through this data and figuring out why things are going the way they are, why people are getting more unhealthy, why people are having more allergies and more sensitivities and more intolerances. It's still brand new. And when you inundate yourself with so much information, it's a good thing and a bad thing because you have access to so many things. It's more good than bad. And it's really amazing it's amazing if you use it properly. Let's just put it that way, because there's nothing bad about it, I think. I don't think because of the information overload, it's not the internet's fault, it's the user's fault. Because if you put your phone down, you're not online, you're not looking at it, you're not absorbing that information. So it's up to you, right? Alcohol itself isn't bad. Abusing it and drinking to excess regularly, that's not a good thing. Same thing with drugs. Now, of course, a lot of drugs might be more considered bad, but that's kind of an opinion. However, if you're abusing things, you can take a car and drive it off a cliff, and then you didn't use that car properly. You can use a car and run people over. Obviously not the best use of a car. Does that mean we should get rid of all the cars? Of course not. So it's how you use the internet, and it's a great tool, and the internet allows me to contact all of you and to create content and to create value and to have a business and to pursue my passion. And it's great and it's phenomenal. And I learned how to do everything with the computer, with the editing, with the podcasting. I learned it by Googling, by studying, by applying, and just learning all this stuff myself. However, you can also get lost in the woods. You can gather too much and then not take action. And a lot of people end up doing that. They look up program after program and they look up counterpoints and this point and this diet and that diet. And you get so locked up because there's thousands of things. The reason why there's so many things, there are like fucking 8 billion people in the damn world. There's so many different options. There's so many different unique situations. Think of how many combinations you can make if you have like 6 numbers. You take 6 numbers, how many different number combinations can you make? And it's like fucking hundreds of thousands. It's just so many different types of combinations. It's the same thing, but now you don't have 6 numbers or 6 digits you're working with. You have 100 digits. So there's so many different combinations. So why don't we, as an entire industry, as a community, at least with us, because I can't control what everyone does, but I can put my opinions and my experience out there, and hopefully it strikes home with some of you. So for a fraction of the people that listen to this, that take action, this is for you. This is for you. It's to whittle down to the most common denominator. What are the things, aside from the internet, the extra information is great, but what actually does work? What has worked for 100 years? What is the body supposed to do? How does the body fundamentally function? And it comes down to like what has changed over the past 100, 200 years that has led to a lot of these illnesses. We need to move more. We need to eat better food. I see I'm getting tagged in a bunch of content about people saying a calorie is a calorie. And yes, okay, water is water and a fucking cup is a cup. Like that doesn't mean anything. But the quality of the food absolutely does matter. That's why some people have major fucking reactions and bloating and pain and issues and sluggishness versus when they eat better quality foods for them, they feel better. They have better performance. They lose more weight. They have a better sleep habits and they wake up feeling more rested. They don't feel joint pain. I mean, that comes down to the quality. So to call all calories the same to follow macros, that's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're playing with semantics. You're playing with just definitions, which I get. People lose track of what the actual definition is, right? They demonize the word diet when it's not the word diet that's the problem. It's people's perception of what the word diet means. But what you're actually consuming makes a huge difference. You cannot tell me that a piece of grass-fed beef that's 200 calories is going to be the same as 200 calories of a Snickers bar. They're completely different. A calorie, a unit of energy on a scientific level, right? The amount of energy required to raise, 1 gram of water, 1 degree centigrade, something like that. Who the fuck cares about that? That doesn't matter. That's what a calorie means. We throw around the word calorie as if people understand that. They think, oh, calories. It doesn't matter what a calorie is. You can't even comprehend what that fucking means. Oh, the amount of energy to raise this amount of water. That's the definition. So it's still what happens on the way to the forum, what happens on the way to the calorie, what happens on the way to get to that unit of energy. You're going to tell me that real fucking food versus something that is just processed full of fucking sugar that's not found anywhere, that's created in a lab, is going to be the same? It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's just not true. It's not true. There are many different types of cars. You're going to call everything a car. They're all the same. No, some are big, some are small, some are long, some are fast, some are slow, some have 3 wheels, some have 4 fucking wheels, some have 8 wheels or whatever. It's just not the same. And we create this confusion in order to make it seem like there's a real complicated problem to solve, which there is, but it's not the problem that we think it is. It's the problem with the system in terms of the larger system that's creating all this illness nationwide. But if we look at that nationwide problem, we're looking at some major barges and yachts and things that are hard to turn around. It's much harder to change at a government level, at a nation level, as a society. You can't change that. And we talk about the obesity crisis. It distances us so much from the problem that we can't even formulate a solution, or we can't take any direct action because it's such a vague, vast problem. Oh, the obesity crisis in America, the obesity crisis. What are you going to do about the obesity crisis? I'll make a YouTube video. Wow, people are too fat. That's not going to change anything. We have to get to the actual source. So podcasts like my own and other people that are creating content on a small scale, we have to start from the bottom. We have to start from the ground up. We have to start from what we can control and what we can target. And if we separate ourselves from this whole system and obesity epidemic, and we realize we're not a part of that if we don't want to be, then we can start looking at our own individual lives and we're not the victim anymore. We can take control. We can make our decisions in our little bubble and make decisions that affect our life. And if we all do that as individuals, as a whole system, it's going to change things. But we have to do it from the ground up. We have to do it from us. We have to do it with what we can control. We can't worry about the epidemic because, hey, I'm not part of the epidemic. I'm going to be not obese. I'm training. I'm eating real food. Now, are my taxes going to have to go to pay for people that have diabetes type 2 and shit like that? Yeah, probably. So I'm part of the system, but at the same time, I don't have to be inundated and be a victim of that. I can control what I do. I can't control what everyone else does. So that's what we have to think about more. We have to focus on our own shit. We have to focus on the simple things that get results. What gets results? Like, what fucking gets results? People were getting in shape and having the bodies and physiques that we all talk about now 50 fucking years ago. It doesn't have to do with the internet. There's nothing more confusing or more overwhelming about the human body. We don't need all this new information. It's great. Science is great. We're learning little frilly fringe things. That's okay. What little tiny supplement to help us? These all the little tiny supplements, all the little studies, and all the little nutritional tweaks and hacks, like the little tiny surface things that might benefit certain people that have like really locked down their habits already. But the fundamental habit changing is what needs to change. That's where we were led astray oftentimes by our parents that weren't educated in this sense. They weren't exposed to this. They didn't have as much media talking about fitness and looking a certain way. And I think actually the hate that people give being fit and looking good, it's a good thing. You want to look, it's associated with health. It's associated with being active. And if you're looking at it as some kind of like diet culture and the superficial shit, those are for people that don't really necessarily want to work hard, that can't get the results, that they're not happy with their life, they're not happy with their process and their journey, so they lash out at people that have results. And of course you can get disorders, and we can go down these rabbit holes and keep on fucking, we can go down all these different roads, but I think moving more, eating real food, not overeating like a fat fuck, it's so simple. Sleeping better. Like sleeping at night, not staying up on your phone till 4 o'clock in the fucking morning and getting up at 7 and wondering why you feel tired and wondering why you're retaining some belly fat and you can't get rid of like your banana rolls or whatever the fuck it is. That's, you wonder why you're not eating the right foods, you're not sleeping, you're not recovering, you're not exercising regularly. That's why we're sick. That's why people are unhealthy looking. That's why their skin looks like shit. That's why they're stressed out. There are a lot of other issues, but it starts at a much more basic level, but it's not sexy. It's not sexy to talk about it. It's not sexy to tell someone that they need to start analyzing themselves and start meditating and going through the shit that's going on in their brain and going through these childhood stresses and memories and suppressed memories and stuff via meditation. And that's not attractive to a lot of people. So it's harder to sell products. And from a business and from an area where you can have a business and you can generate income, whether you're a personal trainer or you make supplements or you're a fitness coach or you're an online coach or you own a gym, it's nice to sell supplements. Look, I could be pushing supplements like crazy and people would buy them. But at the same time, it's not what's going to help people the most. There are plenty of companies that are making supplements that you can go and buy and have at it, have fun with it. But I'm still going to sit here and tell you that you don't need that shit. If you want to spend your money on things that you don't need that might not be helping you, then you can go ahead. We all spend money on things we don't fucking need. If you have more than a couple pieces of clothing, you have a couple pairs of shoes, you have shit that you don't need. Everyone does. We acquire too much stuff. And what we need to do is start unloading that stuff in our brain because we have too much of this fitness information. Too much. Every time I get stuck or I'm like, oh, I don't know what I feel like doing this, you go back to the fucking basics. Yesterday, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? I got to do a total body workout. I might not be able to lift in a gym for a couple days. So I just fucking did some deadlifts and I did some legs and I just fucking went and I lifted. Keep the lifting basic. You don't need all the fancy shit. You don't need all the fancy machines. You don't need all the fancy exercise. You don't need all the fancy gadgets that you see on Instagram. You don't need all the stuff. You don't. You don't. And of course, once you get into the industry for a while and you practice for a while and you're training for a while, of course you can start playing around with things. But once you have that base locked down, and you'll know when you do, but a lot of you that are struggling, you should always be going back to the basics. I think you should always be kind of rewinding in your brain almost every day. You go back to the basics. Am I really doing the basics right? Am I really doing the fundamentals right? Every time I kind of get low mood or this, I think, okay, I'm not really sleeping good enough. I need to focus more on sleep. I didn't really drink enough water today. That's probably a factor. And it's always something you have to come back to. And those bodybuilders and people that see great results, it's the basics that are maintained for decades. That's why they build so much muscle and maintain it. It's not magic, it's relentless consistency. And if you're not ready to do that, then you're not really ready to get the results that you claim that you want. And the actions have to match the words. Eliminate as much crap as possible. That's a good piece of advice, Nicholas. I like that. We got some comments. Will you answer those questions that were sent by people recently in your story? Hope so. Maybe. The hundreds of questions. I'll probably be posting another sticker. I'll try to get to as many things I want, but that's why you follow, because when I do, you'll know it. If you're checking out my story regularly, you'll see when I do. I might not be able to answer in my story, or I might be making videos on those topics, but whenever I post the question sticker, make sure you drop your question there, because I will use that for content. I will be answering that either in a podcast, maybe in an IGTV video, maybe in my story. So I'm always answering questions and that's a great way for me to understand what you all want to talk about. And again, the reason why I do the podcast on these topics like information overload is because I see the questions that are being asked. And I mentioned that in my YouTube video. I see the questions that are being asked, and a lot of them are just really overly complicated and not necessary. Questions that I had never even asked, period, when I was trying to make all my gains, when I was trying to get huge and get lean, and things that I've never even considered asking. So it's like, why do you want to know? I never even thought to ask that, so it never helped me at all. Why do you want to know that? And it's because you saw some YouTube video, you read some article, you read something, and it's not that it's your fault. You just want to know the answer. But I'm here to try to reorganize your brain and kind of corral you from realizing you don't need to know the answer to that, if that makes sense. Trying to make it clear that you don't need to complicate your life. You don't need to complicate your fitness. Once you hammer down the basics so much, it's a lot easier to start adding other things, right? If you get the basics and you get super consistent, you get super regular and you're super focused and you're getting results and you're really hammering those things down, yeah, sure, you can add things to your training. You can take it to that next level if you want, but most of you are trying to take it to the next level before you have the basics down. When you have to read how much meat is in the meat you buy, what are we talking about here? I haven't watched your elimination diet videos yet. Is it just not eating certain things? Oh, then you should be watching my... I haven't watched your elimination diet videos yet, but can you tell me the answer so I don't have to watch those videos? You can go watch those videos. Har, har, har. Exercise and nutrition hasn't really changed at all. It's just been complicated and dressed up by big companies to make money through confusion. Eat healthy and do shit fucking simple. Well, you think it's simple, but it's harder to unlearn things. And I think that's why this content really does make a difference, even though it's very simple and straightforward. And of course, we talk about some higher level topics, but it's more about what you can apply. And if you're always talking about things that people can't relate to, it's like interesting. It's cool. Sounds good. But is that something that someone can apply to their life? Is it a product that they have to buy that they probably can't afford? Is it really helping people that really need the help? Are you talking to... We don't need to talk to professional fitness. That's why I don't do like this, athlete stuff and high level. If you're training already and you're working, that's cool. You already do your thing. You're probably already doing your shit. My workouts and my stuff inside Swolenormous X is for all levels. It's for advanced. We have the yoga classes, we have the training, and I'm adding new programs and workouts, my own workouts. So it covers everything. But for those of you that are struggling to make that change, it comes down to the habits. It comes down to the basic things. It's amazing how much results and how much benefit you can get by doing the basics. The one summer that I wanted to make sick fucking gains in college, I remember I wanted to gain weight. I wanted to get big. I was so serious about bulking up, and I couldn't afford a gym membership at the time. So I trained in the basement, basic fucking lifts. My stepfather had weights and stuff down there. Squat. He had like a homemade squat rack. Squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, rows, bench, curls, dips, like fucking basic shit. Got huge. Ate like a beast and fucking trained like a beast with the basics, and it works. I made this commitment to myself. I was like, you know what? This whole summer, I'm going to, on purpose, I'm just going to do only the basics and just only the basic lifts. Massive difference. Built a foundation for what I have now, for sure. And I still do the basics, and the basics are what you need. And most people, if you're doing cable curls, no, get the fuck off the fucking cable curls, you jabroni. Go lift some weights. Go back to the basics. You don't need that. You don't need that fucking shit. And it doesn't mean that you should never do cable curls, but you get my point. There are a lot of fancy things out there. A lot of fancy things out there. Lots of fancy shit. Lots of extra stuff. I love how you've smoothly implemented banana rolls. Yeah, well, I didn't know what banana rolls was or what they were like a week ago. On one of my Ask Papa Swolios, I answered the question and I said out loud, I said, what the fuck is a banana roll? So now I say banana rolls a lot because I love it. Banana rolls, banana rolls. I actually mentioned it to someone else and they didn't know what it was either. I've never heard of that. I never heard banana rolls for the fat under the thigh. I never heard that until the other day. And I've been using the word and a lot of people don't know what they are. So I'm going to be talking about them a lot because I think it's a funny word. It's very descriptive and I like it. You have to own your banana rolls, own your carbs, own your fructose. Kayla, I tried to explain this to my fiance. I finally got in his face and said, I am a physical therapist assistant. I study exercise science constantly. I might know a thing or two. You might. You might. Maybe. See, I've never heard about it either, about banana rolls. See, I'm not the only one. Lacey hasn't heard of it too. Anyone know a good exercise for someone with a very large chest? What does that mean? No idea what that means. A good exercise? For what? Papa Swole, would you recommend at Pop? Oh, what happened? Oh. Oopsies. Maybe you could still hear me. Something happened with my microphone. I'm not hearing. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is part of the problem. 1 second. Huh. I might have kicked out something. You hear me okay? Okay. Whatever. We'll roll with it. I think I might have kicked out a plug. Okay, so weird. My headphones just stopped working. I kicked out the plug, I think, with my foot. I towed something down there. Anyway, I can hear me. Well, it's so weird now that I take off the headphones. I can't hear me talk, but I can hear myself talk. It's just not as focused as it was before. All right. Well, everyone else hears me fine. As long as you hear me, that's fine. I don't need to have the headset on. Okay. Technology is wonderful, isn't it? Fucking shit. I feel like there's always something that goes down. There's always something that goes down on the podcast. There's always something. There's always something something has to happen. Something always has to fucking happen. No Facebook chat. Headphones stop working. I could probably just plug it in over here. Well, let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Fucking guy. Test. Let's see. We good? Can you? Hey, all right. All right. I'll take it. I got something. Daddy's got it. Can you hear me now? Can you hear my sick fucking gains? Can you hear the gains? Okay, let's see. First, I've heard of banana rolls. So apparently no one has heard of banana rolls. No one knows what banana rolls are. This is like something that we're just kind of scratching the surface. This is the first I'm hearing of banana rolls. Let's see. What's up, Shane? If I want to avoid the mindset of powerlifting. Let's see. In the 90-day dash, chest and triceps. Oh, that's way off topic, but let me... you could do more volume. Yeah, if you're trying to Old chest. Well, if you want to get off your powerlifting, then just change the modality. If you don't want to do super heavy weight and low reps, then increase the volume. Then do slower tempos. Slower tempo training is really effective. Doing slower on the eccentric and on the concentric. You could do different cadences, different types of training. But if you really exaggerate and focus on the eccentric and slow and controlled negatives, that will make a lighter weight heavier, but you're increasing the time under tension. So that's better for hypertrophy. It's important to have overload, but it's also important to have that time under tension. You don't want to do like fast repetitions in order to build muscle. That's not the best way to do it. Overall, you want to increase your volume and you want to increase your time under tension with resistance. Like if you lift 10 pounds super slow, you're not going to build the same amount of muscle, if you're really a lot stronger. So you still want to have a significant percentage of your maximum output, maybe 60, 70% of maxes, but then you're doing more volume, more reps, and a slower tempo. So there's more time under tension. I'm going to have to Google banana rolls. What if it's something completely different? What if it's something hardcore racist? And I'm just saying it freely and no one knows that it's a real hardcore insult. Are banana rolls like butt cheek ham hocks? I think so. I think that's what it is. I think it's like, the little area under the thigh or something, or under the butt, something like that. Someone asked me again, I've been getting a lot of comments about glutamine. I don't take glutamine. I never saw any difference between taking it and not taking it in the past. So you don't need it, that's for sure. It's like BCAAs. It's just you're drinking water. I don't know of anything conclusive that says glutamine is really effective. It's more about what you're doing physically. It's more about the rest you're getting, the sleep you're getting. The biggest changes that I've seen is just by doing yoga, mobility, and the sauna regularly has made a huge difference. Love the sauna. So that's been one of the biggest differences and the biggest improvements and changes that I've seen from not doing the sauna at all to doing it regularly. Has been a huge difference. I don't think it's back fat. Well, I remember in one of the comments on YouTube, because I didn't know what it was, someone said that it was the fat under the thighs or under the butt. I don't know. I guess it looks like a banana because it curves under the glute or something. I joined in late. Is that some type of dessert? See, now we're all off the rails. No one knows. No one knows what a banana roll is. This is made up. Make believe. The land of make believe. We're just making shit up. I use very slow reps for shoulders, lower weight, high reps for shoulders. There's certain muscle groups, and everyone's going to be different, but there's certain muscle groups that really respond to high reps a lot. And legs are great for high reps to failure. But I mean, of course, you want mass too. You want to go heavy too with legs. And you want to go heavy with any kind of muscle you want to grow. You want to go heavy too. But doing high rep and for shoulders, fantastic. Shoulders are great for that. What's the difference you saw after doing? Just recovery, energy, sleep quality, body composition. Like I recover faster, so I just feel I feel more solid. It's hard to explain. Less joint pain, less joint issues. It's really good for inflammation. It's good for recovery. I go in there and I meditate and I stretch a little bit and I try to do 20 to 30 minutes a day. I haven't done it super consistent because I've been out of town. So next week I'll be back. I'll be back in the sauna flow. I went once, like not last night, but the night before. But when I get back in town, I'm going to be doing sauna again like crazy. It's under your bum. It's under your bum, your booty. Opinion on coffee, caffeine, and coffee products. Opinion on, what do you mean, like coffee? I like coffee. My opinion on coffee and caffeine coffee products. I don't know what you're referring to. The only coffee product I care about is actual coffee. And I do like coffee. Can the next episode be named after banana rolls? I think it might be. I think it might have to be. Started a hot yoga last week, intense. Hot yoga is great. So if you don't want to do sauna, you want to do hot yoga, that's great. But doing that kind of extreme heat is fantastic for your body, from my personal experience too. A lot of people love it. Sauna is good for anti-inflammatory properties, and it's really clarifying psychologically. Really helps me sleep like a fucking rock too. Any advice for someone who who has an autoimmune iron deficiency to boost energy. Autoimmune iron deficiency. Do you eat meat? Is that something that helps you, or are you not able to consume that or something? Proper sleep, proper nutrition, getting your iron levels up is going to help you boost energy. So what's your issue with that? I'm not a doctor that knows everything about iron deficiency. So what's the reason why you don't have enough iron? Because if you have low energy, that's the reason you have to bring that back up. I like to bring a book to the sauna. If you're bringing a book in the sauna, you're not hot enough. In my opinion, when I go in the sauna, I am drenched. If I bring a book in there, it's going to be it's going to be destroyed. If you're reading in the sauna, it ain't hot enough. Turn that shit up. Turn that shit up. Coffee is the drink of the gods. Preach. The Banana Roll episode featuring Papa Swole. The Banana Roll episode. I listen and watch your content every day. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the support. Thank you for support. What brand of coffee do I drink? Just some local brand, or I drink like Pete's coffee, just something from my supermarket. I don't order any kind of like specific coffee. I haven't lately. It's just more expensive, and I like just to go and get it. But it's always good if you can opt for like a single origin and an organic blend. Just get a good quality coffee. I wouldn't get like Folgers or something like that. If you're super sensitive to caffeine, you can opt for something with a lesser caffeine content, or teas and things like that. I do like tea at night. Do you go in the sauna in a bathing suit or workout clothes? I'll go in with as little clothing as possible. I don't go in a sauna at the gym. There's one in my building, so I just go in there so I don't have to deal with other people. How long of sauna sessions should you do? I don't know what you should do. I know what I do, and I usually do about 30 minutes, but I'll step out for a minute here and there. So I might do 10 minutes, come out for like a minute or so, go back in for 10 minutes, come out, go like 10, 10, 10. Sometimes I can tolerate the heat more than others. Sometimes it just feels really fucking hot and uncomfortable. So I try to push it, but at the same time, I'm not doing it to fucking make myself miserable. So it's a challenge, but I don't do it to not feel good. So if I feel really like stepping out, I just step out. So at the longest I'll do in one straight shot will be 20 minutes. But I try to do at least 20 to 30 minutes. Some days I'll do 20 minutes and I'm like, I'm done. And other times I'll do 10, 10, or 10 and then 20, or 20 and then 10. Depends. I drink decaf coffee. Oh, you drink fake coffee? Cool. Decaf coffee is not coffee. Coffee is coffee. Decaf coffee is science experiment. It's evil. Now that's cool. I believe decaf has a little bit of caffeine. This is my new favorite podcast. Scott, you're making me blush under my gains. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everyone subscribing. Just another reminder, if you had issues yesterday or the day before with Spotify, you probably heard me talk about it. There was a little catastrophe. Spotify, my podcast was off for some reason. So I had to tweak some things. Anyway, it's back up there. So you can subscribe everywhere. It depends on where you like to listen. Just a reminder, you can catch it there. All that shit should be fixed. Any kind of issues with that should be not a problem anymore. I hope. If it is, just send me a message. Well, saunas can get nasty. They certainly can get nasty. That's also true. Good point, Holly. I can't read all that, but good point on Facebook. You feel exhausted after coffee? Hold on. Am I going to sneeze? I might. Am I going to sneeze? It went away. It's going to come back. Hold on. Anyone that's listening, I'm trying not to sneeze. Oh, it's going to be a close one. If you don't overdo coffee, or you don't overdo stimulants and energy drinks all the time, coffee will be plenty. The caffeine in coffee will be plenty before you go work out. Especially once you start exercising and you start sweating and you start activating. Here we go. It's coming. Yeah. Woo. Oh, we're clear. Good stuff. We're clear. One of the downsides of having a beard is sometimes you sneeze and your sneeze just ends up in your beard. You just got like boogers just like all caught in the hair. So the next time you kiss a bearded man, you're kissing boogies. You're kissing boogies. So that one was good. That one was all right. I thought that was going to be a messy one, but that would have been embarrassing. I would have been super embarrassed if it was a boogie. Actually, I wouldn't have been embarrassed. It would have been gross. It would have been funny. It would have been funny. Thank you. What's your take on steam rooms? I haven't done a steam room in a while. I prefer the sauna. Because the steam room it makes it really hard to breathe. And plus, you just get completely drenched. You go in there, you're just fucking wet. I don't know. It's hard to breathe when the air is just fucking like hot steam. It can maybe help you more if you have respiratory issues. Again, it has to be really clean. I would think that a steam room would have more of a risk of having bacteria or having some kind of or getting sick in it just because of all the moisture. So I couldn't say because I haven't done it regularly like I have for the sauna, but the research and all the feedback and my personal experience, I love the sauna. But I would recommend it. You can try that. I just don't have access to one, so I can't put it side by side and try and be like, oh, I like that more than this. But I definitely love the sauna. I'll take another question or two, and then I got to roll. Got to hit the road. If you are just getting into yoga, how often would you recommend doing yoga? Daily or a few times a week? Do whatever you can be consistent with. A lot of people start something, they get excited. Wow, I love yoga, and you start doing it every day, and then you try to hold yourself to some standard, and then you can't keep up with it, and then you get down on yourself. So I would not try to overload and do it every single day unless you have time and you really like it. Just don't try to do it every day and then feel unaccomplished or like a failure if you miss a day. But it can get very addicting in a good way. You'll start doing it regularly because it feels so good and then you want more results. But if you're doing intense yoga, it can be overloading too. But yin restorative yoga, if you're doing a power yoga, that's like a workout. So you want to be careful with that. But if you're just doing regular yoga flows, Florida is a fucking steam room. It's one big steam state. Hey, just entered the live. I would really love your opinion on intuitive eating. What does that even mean? What does intuitive eating mean? These are the phrases, and this is we'll end on this because that is exactly what I mean about information overload. Intuitive eating sounds like something someone just made up. Intuitive eating? What the fuck does that fucking mean? Listen, we'll end on this note. Not everything has to have a name. You don't have to have a name for everything. You don't have to put a title on everything. That's a major issue with everything too. Everything has to be fucking categorized and have a title and have all this other stigma around it and all these other associated workouts. And if you do intuitive eating, then you can't do this. If you do intuitive eating, it's not keto because it's intuitive and it's not paleo this. Everything has to have a title and a category. So then people start thinking they have to do one versus the other. And if you aren't doing intuitive eating, then you're doing keto or you're doing paleo. But then you put yourself in a camp and a focus and a mindset of one thing, and it's restrictive. It turns into being restrictive. You need, and this is why I approach with the elimination diet, because it covers everything. It covers intuitive eating, whatever the fuck that is. It covers paleo and keto and vegan. If you are testing the foods that could be causing you problems and you figure out which foods your body reacts best to, then you can pursue that avenue of eating for your daily life and for consistency, because you can be consistent with it. If you like these certain foods and you react well to them and you like them and they're convenient, then you fucking go down that road and you do paleo or keto or what works for you. And that's where it has to be. That's what we need a little bit more of. We need to stop putting a title on every last fucking thing. You mean eating the right foods for you. But that's so vague. But what should I do? But what about this diet? This? No. Do a fucking elimination diet. Do it hard. Do it really strict. And then you can test the foods and focus on the quality. Elimination diet, focus on the quality, and then go from there. If you haven't done it, then stop asking about different diet shit. Start with that. And then you'll know which foods. You'll know if you have massive reactions to grass-fed beef or eggs or dairy or gluten, and you can fucking test it. Just fucking test it. Do it. No one can tell you what your gut biome is going to react best to. All right? That defines information overload. So keep it simple and fucking execute. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1140 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, Slaycast, and fucking Nipplecast, and Thursdaycast, and all the casts in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I will see you tomorrow. Remember, traveling cast, so if you want to catch the live cast, join the private community, get access to the weekly accountability meetings, the private Q&As. You'll see all the live casts and the fire community, and you can fucking ask questions. You can post recipes. You can just all these questions you're asking. We have the private Swolenormous fam that's always swarming, and we're always doing Q&A nonstop in the private Facebook group. So make sure that if you want access to that, you could join the Daily Swole Club over at swolenormousx.com, or you can join Swolenormous X and get access to all the training on the site, everything. And of course, you get access to Swolenormous X Live, which is the private Facebook group. So Swolenormous X fam, I will see you in the private group tomorrow for episode 1141. Everyone else, you can go to swolenormousx.com to learn more and still plug into YouTube and Instagram and follow me, as I will be posting, as always, for the rest of the next couple days. So I will see you on the interwebs. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swole. Out.